Hi, my name is Paula Flowe, Director and Founder of the national organization, The Hitting Stops Here. And I have a question. Why is it that African American boys are the primary target for receiving paddles in states where this practice is still sanctioned? Some of my theories is the fact that most of the paddlings where this still exists is in rural towns and communities in these 21 states. And most of the time the parents are not able to articulate themselves well, or they may not have money, or they may have less education than parents who live in bigger cities where generally paddling is no longer sanctioned, or it's banned in the districts in big cities or surrounding big cities. And what I'm concerned about is if paddling is so good and so necessary, why is it being targeted at people who cannot speak up for themselves with confidence to protect their children, where people who, if their children are injured, don't have the money to pay for a lawyer to protect their children or to fight for their children's rights? Why is it done where there's just small town and where parents may not necessarily take parenting classes to help them raise their children, and in a way where violence is not being used, where they're learning how to actually talk to their children and teach them how to be problem solvers and independent thinkers? What I'm concerned about is if paddling is so good and so effective and so necessary, then why is it then that we're depriving all the white kids, the rich white kids, and children who have money and live in other communities where there is money? Those children are being deprived of all the good that paddling would do, because it's primarily being done to African American boys, girls, other minorities. Next in line are Native Americans, and then also special ed children. And I think that according to law, that's called discrimination. And I don't know whether the white children or the rich children are being discriminated against because they're missing out on this vital type of disciplining, or whether it's the black children and the minorities who are being discriminated against because they're receiving a type of punishment that is harmful and that could cause great damage to them. If you can answer that question for me, please send it to my email, paulaflowe@thehittingstopshere.com. I really want to know why African American boys are hit more. Now, the other thing that I would like to mention is a lot of people have told me that the reason it's so hard to get rid of corporal punishment in U.S. public schools, the remaining states that have it, is because of religious beliefs. People think spare the rod, spoil the child, and they think that children need to be paddled. Some people say it's a cultural thing, that black people dish it out at home and therefore it's the only thing kids understand at school. And some people say that, well, the fundamentalists, this is a very strong issue with them and they're not going to give it up. Some people will even say the Republicans want it. So it sounds like the reason kids are still being paddled is because of the fundamentalist issue, the cultural issue, and the Republican issue. But I want you to think for a minute. Suppose, through some phenomenon, just little cute, beautiful little white, blonde, curly-haired girls were being paddled, and that the main paddlers, or the only paddlers that are in the school systems tend to be black men. Now I want you to visualize that. Only black men, and they tend to only paddle little white girls. Now all of a sudden, I don't think there'd be any confusion about getting corporal punishment out of U.S. public schools. It wouldn't be a fundamentalist issue. It wouldn't be a cultural issue. It certainly wouldn't be a Republican issue. I think it may possibly be maybe a lynching issue. Think about that. Thank you.